If you've ever felt like a woman slowly stopped respecting you, and you couldn't explain exactly when it started, this video is about you. Because here is the uncomfortable truth. Women don't accidentally walk all over men. They only do it when a man never set boundaries early enough to stop it. In the first stages of dating, there are 5 specific boundaries that act as a test of gravity. These determine whether she sees you as a man she respects or a man she slowly takes for granted. Miss even one of these, and you will spend months confused, overgiving, and wondering why the dynamic flipped. This isn't about being harsh, it's not about playing games, and it's definitely not about controlling women. It's about understanding the exact moments where men unknowingly give away their leverage, and learning how to stop doing that before attraction turns into tolerance. If you don't learn these 5 boundaries early, you won't just lose her respect, you'll lose yourself trying to get it back. Most dating advice teaches men how to react. This video teaches you how to position yourself so you don't have to react at all. The difference isn't confidence or charisma, it's structure. Boundaries create structure, and structure determines who leads the dynamic and who adapts to it. If you're ready to shift from guessing to understanding, like the video and subscribe now. Once you see how these dynamics actually form, you stop chasing outcomes and start controlling your own position. Boundary number 1, financial access and the provider audition. Let's break open the first boundary most men ignore. Never open financial access before she has earned a place in your life. Men often confuse sharing with bonding. You think talking about your income, your investments, or the cost of your car is just a conversation. You think you're being transparent, relaxed, and authentic. But that is not how it lands on the other side of the table. To a woman in the early stages, financial information is not intimacy. It is data. The moment you lead with your wallet, something subtle but irreversible happens. You stop being a man she is discovering, and you start being a man she is measuring. Not emotionally, but practically. This is what I call the provider audition. She hasn't chosen you yet. She hasn't committed. She hasn't invested. But you're already standing on stage proving your usefulness. And the dangerous part is that you usually don't even notice it happening. You mention your salary casually. You joke about a bonus. You talk about how much you've saved this year. You think you're just making conversation. But in her mind, a quiet assessment begins. Stability, capacity, access. From that point on, attraction stops being emotional and starts becoming evaluative. Once a woman starts evaluating your wallet, she stops feeling you. Curiosity turns into calculation. Tension turns into expectation. And no, she doesn't need to ask you for money for this shift to happen. All she has to do is observe how freely you expose it and how eager you are to signal that you can provide. Boundary number 2, the standard of respect. Number 2, never tolerate disrespect, especially when it's subtle. Most men think disrespect looks loud, raised voices, insults, or obvious hostility. That's why they miss it when it actually matters. Because real disrespect doesn't announce itself. It sneaks in quietly and waits to see if you'll stop it. It shows up when she interrupts you mid-sentence and keeps talking. When she makes a passive joke at your expense and follows it with, "Relax, I'm just teasing." When she casually compares you to her ex. When she ignores your messages for hours but expects instant replies from you. None of these moments feel big enough to confront, and that's exactly why they work. From a psychological standpoint, this isn't cruelty, it's evaluation. She's asking one silent question: can I get away with this? Women test boundaries the same way water tests cracks. Slowly, incrementally, one small push at a time. If nothing pushes back, the pressure increases. When you let it slide, you're not being easygoing. You're signaling that your self-respect is negotiable. That comfort matters more to you than boundaries. And once a woman realizes she can step over you without consequence, she will. Not because she's malicious, but because you showed her the line doesn't exist. Silence is not composure. Silence is consent. That's the mistake men make when they convince themselves that staying quiet makes them look calm and mature. In reality, you're telling her that this behavior is allowed. Boundary number 3, protecting your time and purpose. Number 3, never make your time freely available just because you like her. This is where most men sabotage themselves before the relationship even has a chance to form. You think availability shows interest. You think saying yes quickly proves enthusiasm. You think rearranging your schedule makes you look invested. From her side, it looks very different. When a man is always available, it doesn't signal desire. It signals a lack of structure. And women don't evaluate men in isolation. They evaluate the life that surrounds him. A man who drops everything the moment she appears doesn't look committed. He looks unanchored. When your time becomes an open buffet, she doesn't feel chosen. She feels prioritized at the expense of everything else. Paradoxically, that lowers attraction. Men believe scarcity pushes women away. In reality, the absence of structure pushes them away faster. A man who treats his time like currency is always in demand. Not because he's playing games, but because his life already has direction before she ever steps into it. When you protect your schedule, she stops seeing you as an option she can summon and starts seeing you as a man she has to meet halfway. Time creates anticipation when it's not on demand. That's the part most men misunderstand. They think saying no kills momentum. In reality, it sharpens it. When you don't jump every time she reaches out, you signal self-control. And self-control is one of the strongest indicators of maturity. Boundary number 4, pacing emotional intimacy. Number 4, never become her emotional dumping ground before she commits. This is one of the most seductive traps because it disguises itself as connection. She opens up early, talks about her trauma, her ex, the family drama. She cries on the phone and tells you she's never felt this understood. You think, this must mean something. It feels intimate. But emotional dumping is not intimacy. It's recruitment. What's actually happening is simple. She's testing how much emotional labor you're willing to carry before she gives you anything real in return. Most men volunteer without realizing the cost. You listen for hours. You reassure. You stay up late calming her down. You absorb her emotional weight. And slowly, the frame shifts. You're no longer the man she desires. You're the man she stabilizes herself with. Masculine polarity dies the moment you become her emotional container too early. Mystery fades, tension dissolves, and desire flattens. Once you're emotionally categorized as the safe one, it sticks. This boundary isn't about being cold, it's about pacing intimacy. A woman bonds with the man she invests in emotionally, not the one who carries her weight for free. When she has to show up, when she has to contribute, and when she has to regulate herself, attraction deepens naturally. This boundary doesn't block intimacy, it preserves it. Boundary number 5, grounding yourself. During withdrawal. Number 5, never panic when she pulls back. This is the moment where most men undo everything they did right before. Things were good, then something shifts. Her replies slow down. The warmth fades. And instead of staying grounded, you panic. That panic is instinctive. You feel the distance and assume something is wrong. So you fill the silence. You send more messages. You try to reassure her. You plan more, compliment more, give more. You turn the volume up, hoping effort will restore what distance removed. But attraction doesn't work that way. The moment you increase effort in response to withdrawal, the balance shifts. She holds the frame and you chase it. A woman cannot miss a man who is constantly trying to close the gap. She can only miss what has the space to disappear. Absence does something effort never can. It restores polarity. It reminds her that access to you is not guaranteed. If she's genuinely interested, she recalibrates. She notices the absence. The imbalance corrects itself. Consistency returns because you gave it room to surface. If she doesn't come back, then the truth was already there. Your boundary didn't cause the loss, it revealed it faster. Never reward distance with effort. Effort given in response to withdrawal trains imbalance. It teaches her that she can reduce investment while you increase yours. Final thoughts. The power of requirements. What you've just learned isn't a collection of dating tips. It's a system. 5 boundaries, 1 purpose, protecting your value before someone else decides what it's worth. These boundaries are not about manipulation. They exist to keep you from losing yourself while trying to keep someone else. When you control financial access, you protect leverage. When you shut down disrespect, you protect dignity. When you guard your time, you protect direction. When you pace intimacy, you protect polarity. And when you stop chasing withdrawal, you protect self-respect. Boundaries don't make you harder to love. They make it possible for the right person to love you without you shrinking to earn it. They ensure that when a woman chooses you, she's choosing the man you actually are, not the version that sacrifices himself to be tolerated. You don't gain power by demanding more from women. You gain power by requiring more from yourself. If this resonated, subscribe and stay here. This channel is for men who are done being confused and second-guessing their worth. Like the video, share it with a friend, and leave a comment below. Tell me which boundary hit you the hardest. This channel isn't here to comfort you. It's here to keep you from losing yourself. Stay grounded.